What's up, Canucks fans? Welcome back to another Blackfish Canucks Prospects Report here for CanucksArmy. My name is Chris Faber, and we are here to give you a weekly wrap-up of what happened in the world of Vancouver Canucks prospects. So let's get right into it with the World Junior wrap-up. Joni Jurmo, the left-shot defenseman, ended up capturing a silver medal in the final. They ended up losing to Canada in an overtime game. Jurmo was the fifth most used Finnish defenseman in the gold medal game, and now this is kind of the end for him in junior. This is now the time for him to step into the Finnish Liga, a spot where he played a lot of minutes to start the season last year, but wasn't able to finish with a lot. His final 13 games, he actually only averaged just somewhere in the 8-minute range, so it's going to be interesting to see how he evolves this next coming season in Finnish top league Liga. Moving on to Jonathan Lekkerimäki, he captured a bronze medal with Sweden at the World Juniors. To see what happens with him now, he moves to the Allsvenskan, the second tier in Sweden. His game is going to be a lot of fun to follow this year. He should be getting top 6 opportunity for his team over in the Allsvenskan. He'll be playing with Djurgårdens, and the opportunities, like I said, should be big for him offensively. We should see him in a very big power play role for them, as well as prior mentioned, top 6 minutes. There's going to be 5 drafted players on that team, and it's going to be a lot of real good young talent getting a lot of the responsibility for Djurgården to try and get back into the SHL. Moving on to the final player from the USA, Jacob Truscott, who will be heading back to Michigan for his 3rd season. They ended up losing to Czechia, but Truscott just continued to play his game throughout this tournament. Quiet, good defensively, and a lot to like throughout the game for Truscott. He'll be partnered up with Luke Hughes at Michigan this next coming season on what should be one of the most exciting and strongest offensively producing pairings in the NCAA. A lot of that's because of Luke Hughes, but it's great to see that Jacob Truscott has been able to find his role with Michigan and be able to let Luke Hughes play his best game. All right, let's head on over to Sweden. We're probably going to end up doing this every single week. Sweden gets its own heading, as we say in the article. Let's start with Jonathan Myerenburg, the Vancouver Canucks' top right defense prospect in the system. He ended up playing with Mora for a little bit more. That is his team that he is loaned to in the Allsvenskan. Myerenburg continues to be the right shot defenseman playing on the second pairing for Mora. It's been a good start for him so far. He didn't look as good in his second preseason game with Mora, but he still looked like a player who's going to thrive because of his skating skill and ability to see the ice. Moving on to another Swedish defenseman, we're talking about Elias Pettersson, or Elias Pettersson, whatever you want to call him. The left shot defenseman is playing for Örebro. He was the 4th pairing defenseman for Örebro in an SHL exhibition game. He was able to get on some ice time, kind of averaging somewhere in the 7 to 9 minute range. Be interesting to follow his season as he's just 18 years old, but already getting minutes in the SHL and did play some SHL games last season. Finally, wrapping up Sweden, we do have an awesome highlight to show you. Nils Hglander got hooked up from a pass from Linus Karlsson in an exhibition game, and Hglander goes through the legs to score an absolutely beautiful goal, getting people very excited to see what Hglander can do when he returns here to North America and hops into the Canucks' lineup. And to close out the Blackfish Report, let's talk about the 5 NCAA players that the Vancouver Canucks have in their system playing college hockey this year. We'll start with the best of the bunch, Aidan McDonough, who will be the captain of Northeastern this year. He's expected to be one of the leading scorers in the NCAA, as he was the 2nd leading scorer for goals last year. Playing with him at Northeastern is Jackson Dorrington, who is a 2022 6th-round pick for the Vancouver Canucks, and the expectation that I've heard from sources around Northeastern is he should play a lot for Northeastern this year, and the Huskies need him as there's been a lot of turnover on the back end. The left-shot defenseman Dorrington should be able to rely on his good defensive game, as well as a lot of scouts saying that he plays a smart 2-way hockey game for a defenseman. It'll be interesting to see. 6'2", big body, hopping in NCAA hockey for the first time. I'm excited to see what he can do, and then we'll be watching a lot of Northeastern games, likely a lot for McDonough, but to see how Dorrington's progressing as well. Another player quickly, Jack Malone, playing for Cornell. Last season he played in 32 games, scored 8 goals, had 12 assists. He looked good at development camp. The right shot center, also plays a little bit of the wing. We liked what we saw at development camp. There is some skill to his game, but because he didn't really have a great season last year, we didn't really have our eyes locked in on Malone. This next coming season, if he's able to boost that offense and have some real production, we're definitely going to keep an eye on Malone as the year goes on. Talking about goaltenders now, Koskenvuo, he is heading to Harvard. Do we think that he'll be the starter? I don't think so, but he is going to fight for that spot. Harvard is returning their starting goaltender from last season, so Koskenvuo does have some work to do. And finally, we mentioned him a little bit earlier, Jacob Truscott. He'll be heading to Michigan. He'll be playing with Luke Hughes. That's going to be a fun pairing to watch and a great spot for Truscott to continue developing. that wraps it up here for the Blackfish Report, giving you the weekly update on what's going on in the world of Vancouver Canucks prospects. Please be sure to like, subscribe, do all that YouTube stuff, and we'll leave it right there. For Canucks Army, my name is Chris Faber.